Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Gemini placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Gemini, I'm getting a couple of different messages for your reading today. I don't know if they're related. This happens a lot during Gemini readings where I just get like a lot of information that almost feels like it's separate. So just take whatever resonates for you. All of the messages might not be for you. So just keep that in mind. But the first energy that I'm receiving is the artist T-Pain, actually, is how it's coming through, the musician. And the sort of story that comes with him as an artist where I think a lot of people know him as like sort of like he puts out a lot of pop songs, and he used autotune in those songs where his voice was auto-tuned. And I think for a long time people have this idea that artists who use autotune can't really sing, right? That they're using autotune to sort of cover up the fact that they are not a good singer. So I feel like just the way that it's coming through, the way that the story wants to be said for you, Gemini, is that maybe there's been, I don't know, situations in your life where maybe other people have assumed things about you based on like some superficial whatever, have assumed things about you that maybe, for lack of a better metaphor, that you're not a good singer, right? Like that kind of thing, because of a certain choice that you make or something even that's outside of your control or whatever. And it's not a judgment. I'm trying to be very cautious in how I express this. It's not a judgment on that choice or that decision or whatever. It's just a thing that happened. But recently, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, he did this live concert. T-Pain, the artist, did this live concert where it was him singing with a live band and like backup vocalists and like songs that were very much outside of his genre. One of the songs he covered was Tennessee Whiskey, which is it's such a good performance because he's showcasing how well he can actually sing. And I think it took a lot of people by surprise. I feel like part of that's you, Gemini, where I feel like maybe there's something happening here for you where you are showcasing your true authentic voice in a way where other people may have underestimated you in the past. And it's almost like it's interesting because I was receiving this download before I started, and I was getting sort of like two different messages because I myself am a Libra sun and an Aries moon, which are on opposite sides of the zodiac. So the Libra side of me was like processing that information and saying like, do you know what, Gemini? You don't have to prove yourself to anyone, right? It's like you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. It's kind of just like be who you are and like, you know, just be happy. And the Aries moon side of me was saying sort of like, Gemini, like prove them wrong. Like just show them what you can do. Like if anyone has underestimated you in the past, like this is your opportunity to show them what you can do. And so there's like a bit of conflicting advice there for you, Gemini. So just take whatever resonates for you. Always use your discernment. Just however it is that you want to take on this energy, do that. Whatever's good for you. But anyways, so I do feel like there's a situation like that for you, Gemini, where maybe you are dealing with a bit of conflicting information at the moment where it's like, I don't know, what do you do in this situation? So just take whatever resonates for you. Okay, that's one message. It's also interesting though, the name T-Pain. I feel like there's something to do with pain that's relevant in this situation. Like it's a situation that has either caused you pain in the past or has resulted in like heartbreak for you, where especially if it's something where like someone has underestimated you, or someone has projected like negative beliefs onto you, or like just didn't see your truth or who you really are. They didn't see it. It could be something like that. So it's kind of like, again, you don't have to prove yourself to anyone, Gemini. That's not what this is about. But I do feel like there is healing involved in expressing the truth of who you are. And it feels kind of like there's a bit of like, it's feeling very Venus-like energy for you. There's a very strong Venus influence coming through, and also Jupiter, where it's like an expansion of some sort of Venus energy, where pleasure and pain are absolutely interconnected. So it could have to do with like relationships with other people. It could have to do with resources as well. But I'm seeing like the Copper card from the Alchemy deck, which we will be using, which talks about sort of the element of Venus, like pleasure, that you're working with. It has something to do with that, like your pleasure and your pain, that I feel like you're somehow showing to another person, or to many people. I don't know how this will relate to you. It feels kind of like a bit of a stage, Gemini. Like you're on stage in some way, or that there are other people witnessing you in this pain, but also pleasure. And I feel like it may be a bit surprising, because previously, in previous experiences, for whatever reason, maybe there was some sort of mask where it's like it was like your true singing voice was masked in whatever way. Again, that's not a judgment, right? It is what it is. That's just how it happened. And I feel like for a good reason as well. Okay. There's another message here where I'm seeing sort of this Four of Cups energy. It's interesting. Because, okay, when I was first receiving this, I thought that maybe you were in the Four of Cups, but now it's kind of coming through a bit differently. I don't know, take it how it resonates. Either you are in the Four of Cups, where it's kind of this energy of like you have 3 cups in front of you, someone's offering you the Ace of Cups. That's how it's coming through. Or you are offering someone else the Ace of Cups, Gemini. So just keep that in mind. It could be either way. Someone's offering you love, or you are offering someone else love. But right now, it may be that you're in the 3 of Cups. So there's a bit of like, feeling almost like there's like a jadedness, or like you're not seeing the Ace of Cups for what it is, maybe. Because you're surrounded by a lot already, or something like that. And it's really interesting the way that it was coming through, because I feel like there's something here where it's like, I do think that you are seeing this Ace of Cups, but maybe it doesn't, like, it's not feeling good for whatever reason, because you're in the Four of Cups. The way I know I'm using a lot of tarot speak right now, but it's coming through as being like, say you're at the Four of Cups and someone offers you the Ace of Cups, it turns into the Five of Cups, which is almost like this feeling of loss or regret, or feeling as if you've lost 3 cups, or that the 3 of Cups has been knocked over in some way. It's almost feeling like, Gemini, there's this really uncomfortable sort of feeling where it's like someone's offering you an Ace of Cups, but it almost leads into the Five of Cups, because it's kind of like but the Five of Cups has the Two of Cups still there. That's an interesting thing, though. It's kind of like someone offers you an Ace of Cups, right? It could be like whatever that is to you. They offer you love. They're giving you their heart. But it almost puts you into a Five of Cups where it's like you feel loss or regret over some other situation that's not directly attached to this one, which is interesting. It's almost like this love almost highlights loss in a different situation or something like that. It's very interesting. So it is something that you have to move through, Gemini. It is something that you have to feel and move through. And again, there's this energy of pain that's coming through with that, where it's like you're receiving love from someone, but it's highlighting pain from a different situation. That's how it's feeling, which is really interesting. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Anything else that wants to come through with that? There's also something here of like making sure that because I feel like there's something where it's like you want the Ten of Cups. You want this sort of happiness and love and satisfaction with other people or the particular person. But I feel like right now the challenge might be like a Nine of Cups for you, that maybe you're not feeling happy or satisfied within yourself at the moment. So it's kind of like, in order for there to be a Ten of Cups, each person has to be at the 9, and then the 10th cup is what's shared. That's how it was coming through, where I feel like maybe Gemini, you or the other are not at a 9 of Cups at the moment. They're like, you are the other, however this resonates for you, maybe both, are not at the place where individually, independently, there's happiness and satisfaction for whatever reason, right? It could just be there's like some sort of circumstance that's like a 5 of Cups, or that there's pain somewhere in some aspect of your life. So the 9 of Cups is not possible at the moment. That sort of like deep, independent, internal, self-satisfied kind of energy is maybe something that you're working on or trying to find at the moment. But right now it feels kind of like pain is something that you're working through, Gemini. So I do feel like you're working towards the 10 of Cups, but right now it feels kind of like 4 and 5 of Cups are like the dominant energies. That's how it's feeling, even though there is love being offered. So just keep that in mind, Gemini. Okay. I'm going to pull cards now. One card from the Starcodes Astro Oracle for Gemini. Cancer. Immerse. Okay. Mars is in Cancer at the moment. This is also talking about your home. It also rules over the home as well. You may want to watch the upcoming Cancer reading. I haven't done it yet. It's, I don't know. It's upcoming though. I don't know what order exactly. So you may want to watch that reading, or you may want to watch the past Cancer reading. Be the emotional leader and connect with the parent archetype. If you're in need of parenting yourself, reach out to the Divine Mother and Father, to the earth beneath the sky above, and feel held. Once you feel fed by spirit, it becomes easier to accept the ordinary human limitations of the people around you. If you're called to parent others in this situation, whether in love or work, do so with a balanced approach of honest feedback and support and self-care. Nurture without enabling. Model what you want others to do. Yeah. Okay. The challenge of this card. Crabs are hard on the outside, but soft and squishy on the inside. Remember that the very defenses you think will keep you safe may actually keep important people out. Soften your shell. You have a backbone and are not protected solely by an exoskeleton. The gift is, be aware of the psychic pool in which you float. If you feel tossed by the waves or battered by the anxiety of those around you, dive down deeper and find the calm below. Float in the ocean of collective consciousness and feel cradled, nurtured by the Divine Mother, fed and cuddled. Okay. Gemini. That's very interesting because Cancer is your neighbor as well. Cancer is your neighbor. And then you have Scorpio at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, a lot of watery energies. So, okay, so maybe the Three of Swords is not your energy, which is interesting. Maybe it's an energy that's around you, right? It's kind of like there's something of like a collective energy maybe that's that is around you, like you're immersed in it. So it's kind of like maybe you're being asked to nurture other people at this time, or it's or like dive deeper into your own stability and strength. Very interesting. Where do you find strength and stability? I feel like there's this energy here that's wanting to give you like this like loving, unconditional love that's coming from like the divine parent, whatever the divine parent archetype, whatever that means to you. Maybe you are healing wounds from the parent or in whatever way, because it's kind of like, because it is this Ace of Cups is coming from an energy that is trying to help you heal something, but it's almost like, because in the Fairies deck, there's that Singer of the Chalice card where sometimes the first sip of the chalice, sometimes the first sip of the Ace of Cups can actually like taste bitter or strange at first, but in the end it leaves you feeling refreshed. So there is something like that where it's almost like you're getting like this sort of like a bitter sweetness kind of energy. Like there's this pain that's being like highlighted for you in an effort to heal that, to soothe it, to nurture that and clear it out in whatever way. But the first taste of it may feel kind of bitter. Okay, Gemini, interesting. Allowing the mandible, which is the jaw. Okay, so in yesterday's reading, what sign was that? Aquarius. There was a beaver. The beaver card came out, and it was coming through with this energy of like building a dam, right? And that's what this card kind of looks like. And after I did that reading, I was watching this video just on Instagram, and it was this story about how these beavers took it upon themselves to build a dam in this place where the government had been trying to like build a dam themselves. Like they were dealing with like infrastructure and red tape and administrative things, and like the dam wasn't being built, and then it was taking like years and years for the government to get on it. And it's like the beavers took over and just did it in like 2 days, and it fixed everything, and they put it exactly in the right place, of course, without knowing what the government had plans for. Well, I don't know. I think animals are very spiritual creatures, and they just know these things. That's what this image is coming through with for you, Gemini. I feel like there's something here where it's like maybe there's been delays in something, or maybe there's been a situation where it's like things are just not happening for whatever reason, and it's like this energy is coming through as like beavers are building a dam where a dam was needed, right? Because beavers have such a positive influence on restoring broken ecosystems, right? They have a very positive effect on like bringing water where water is needed. That's how it's coming through for you today. Anyways, I'm gonna read this card. Okay. Being more and being you wouldn't feel like one of the most dangerous things you can allow if society hadn't made it so. Consider a river that is allowed to flow naturally. It creates its own boundaries, which change and morph as the seasons shift and the years pass. It settles more deeply here, shifts a floodplain there. In the grand scheme of nature, there is no problem with any of this, until you restrict the energy and form a reservoir of pressure which pushes and pushes to find its natural flow, not caring about the path you want to take. Your motivations are like that river. They have a path they want to follow. And in the grand scheme of you, there is no problem with this. If you are currently controlling instead of allowing, know this. There's wisdom in opening the dam gently, with discernment, titrating your energetic response until you can look at the wild coursing rivers of flow in your life and marvel at the beauty and genius. How could you ever think to control something so perfect? Which is so interesting because it's almost like contradicting the exact thing that I just said. So don't watch the Aquarius reading. I feel like that's not for you. But Gemini has this duality, so just keep that in mind. This card is about allowing the river to flow naturally wherever it wants to go. I feel like though there is something here because it is coming through with like the mouth area. So the throat chakra, or like what you're expressing, is coming through very strongly. There's almost been like an auto-tune on you, Gemini, like something covering the truth about what you want to express. And I think that part of it is like allowing this river to gently start flowing where it wants to. Not all at once, perhaps, because that might be a bit overwhelming. just take it how it resonates. But like gently allowing the river to go where it wants to go, without restriction and without judgment. Because I feel like whatever that judgment or restriction is, it's something that society has told you is whatever. I don't know, whatever it is, negative, bad for you, or whatever. When it's not, it's part of who you are. So allowing that to express. And it feels like it has something to do with like this Cancerian nurturing energy. Where am I choosing hegemony and approval? Is that how you say it? I don't know. And approval over authenticity and my innate desires. What am I currently repressing or controlling? What am I afraid would happen if I stop? What could my life look like if I allow myself to move with my desires and motivations? How do I or others view my desires and motivations? Can I trust my desires and motivations to guide me? Interesting. Okay. There is an aspect here of control that I'm getting with you, Gemini, that maybe you're trying very hard to control yourself in a certain, like, I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with seeking approval from others. When it's like maybe that's impeding on your authentic desires. Okay, where is there potential for breakthrough for Gemini? Maybe you're slowly releasing pressure from a dam, like something that's been sort of like held back for whatever reason. Maybe because that was coming through in the Aquarius reading yesterday. Like someone was holding back their energy, restraining their energy. Maybe that's not what's needed here, because it's kind of coming through as being like, it's better to let it out gently. That's how it's coming through. Maybe you are expressing a desire that you have that's very authentic to you, and expressing it sort of slowly and gently. You're definitely working with the water element though, Gemini. And the moon especially. And we're at a full moon in Leo as I'm filming this. Okay. Inheritance, the pubis. This is a very interesting card. I'm gonna skim it. Okay, inheritance in the physical sense is the material possessions and money handed down with a lineage, but that is not all you inherit. You also inherit energy, blessings and burdens, gifts and trauma, privileges and responsibilities. It may feel like there are strings attached, ties that bind, or allegiances to uphold in the name of tradition, history, or how things have been always done. But you have a choice of what to do with what you inherit. Once it is given to you, it is yours. It is not enough to set aside what you have received as if it's on a shelf in a closet out of sight so you don't have to look at it. It's your responsibility to unpack your inheritance. Only then can you direct how it works for you and for those around you. Your energetic alignment with what you inherit, what you choose to perpetuate, and what you choose to release is your legacy. The way you live your life, the trauma you perpetuate or transmute, the frequencies you align with, and the healing you do for yourself and with others. At the end of your life, this is what will have mattered. Okay. Yeah. What wounds or trauma might I be carrying in my bones from my lineage? Knowing that my healing impacts not only me, but also those who come after me, what do I wish to release? What do I wish to carry forward? Okay, Gemini. So maybe you are receiving, this feels more like it's like generational, right? Like, so it could be like that you're healing generational trauma or wounds from family that were passed on to you. So I like this card because it comes with both, right? It comes with the trauma, the pain, the hardship, the wounds that have been passed on to you, but it also comes with really positive energy, gifts, blessings, love, and all of that. It always comes with both. So I feel like you're in this place right now, Gemini, where you have a lot of information, or you've received a lot of information, and it's up to you to decide which things you are going to carry forward with you, which of course are the gifts and the blessings and the love, and releasing the trauma, the pain, and the wounding. And I think the important note here is like deciding, like, or knowing that your energy will also be passed down to future generations. So what is it that you want to heal within yourself before you pass that down? Because that's sort of showing you what it is that you want to carry forward, what it is that you want to bring with you and continue and perpetuate, versus what it is that you don't want to carry forward anymore, the things that you're releasing. So I feel like this allowing card is also talking about like being very discerning about what you allow, because it's like you don't want to do it sort of carelessly, where it's like, you know, taking time and using your discernment in order to decide like what will be allowed to move forward and what will be sort of released and let go. Okay, very interesting, Gemini. Because you have, again, you have the Cancer card and then Scorpio at the bottom of the deck. And both of these have sort of like the hard exterior, right? The exoskeleton that's protecting something. And both have the pincers, which is interesting. Can I get one more card for Gemini? Expectation, the maxilla and temporal. And both of these are like encased in rock, which is very interesting. So the maxilla is the upper jaw. It forms the upper jaw, hard palate, lower eye sockets, and sinuses. And the temporal bone contains middle and inner portions of the ear. Articulates with the mandible and creates the lower side walls of the skull. Yeah, it's interesting. It's really highlighting the mouth and the throat chakra for you. Okay, interesting. Expectation can feel stabilizing. It creates an argument, both energetically and logically, that since something that has occurred before, it will likely happen again. A pattern will repeat. A behavior can be anticipated. Familiar actions will bring familiar results. Expectation carves rules into the earth element and expects them to stay as they are. It pleads for stability over innovation, denounces what is unknown. It demands that your life look the way it always has, whispers that you cannot change your vision or dream bigger because you have no foundation on which to build. You can only allow what you have known before, what is safe. Dreams are silly, inspiration foolish. After all, how can you trust something with no historical precedent for a result? You become stuck in expectation, but remember, energy is always flowing. There is no such thing as a block, only something you're not yet willing to allow. Change your vision, walk a new route, have new conversations, take a risk on that idea, follow your dream. Sometimes a small movement is all you need to create flow from stagnancy. The Grand Canyon is proof enough of this. A single drip over enough time can release the illusion of solidity. Release the illusion of expectation and see what opens to you. Yeah, okay. You're breaking through some expectations, Gemini, which is interesting. It could be expectations from other people as well, like patterns, right? Things that you expect, or that patterns maybe that are expected of you that I feel like that you're breaking through at the moment. I feel like something that has been very solid for you, so it could be like a pattern of yours that's been very solid, is slowly and steadily, this like drop by drop is being allowed to change, is how it's coming through. And you have attachment at the bottom of the deck, the Atlas vertebra. I do think you are releasing some attachments, Gemini. It's really interesting, this energy. I think you're releasing some expectations about like negative patterns that you have experienced in the past, perhaps revolving pain and pleasure, like the association between those two things. Like, let's say, like, the easiest example would be in relationships, right? Like, if you've had a pattern of relationships that have been painful, or that have resulted in heartbreak, or that, you know, whatever it is, that can create this expectation that all relationships are painful. And I feel like that's steadily changing. And it's kind of like, because I feel like there's some aspect of your true voice, Gemini, that's being allowed to be heard by someone else, is how it's feeling. Like it's like T-Pain singing Tennessee Whiskey. It's so beautiful. And it changes the expectation that people had of him, right? Like that he was a singer that just used auto-tune. It's changing perhaps how other people see you, or how you see yourself, maybe, or something like that. Okay. Letting go of control is, but cautiously, Gemini. Like it's like, I feel like there may be a fear of letting go of control. So just keep that in mind. Or if it's not that, it's like, like fear of an overwhelm, or fear of like a waterfall, right? Like it could be something like that. Because right now, because there's okay, there's a lot of earth energy that I'm getting here with the inheritance and the expectation. Both of those are very earthy, right? Like very stable patterns that you've been in, or very stable relationships or dynamics, or very stable physical environment, or patterns, expectations. But the water is an element that can absolutely change earth, right? It is the opposite. Water is flow. Water is always changing and always moving. And it's like I feel like maybe there's something here about trying to control the flow so that it's not overwhelming. And I feel like maybe, Gemini, there's something here of just like allowing, being a bit more, it can happen at a steady pace, right? Like it's really emphasizing here that like drop by drop is still effective. Doing it like little by little is effective, and it will work. And it may even be the most beneficial way for you to do it steadily over time. Drop by drop. But you are releasing patterns, is how it's coming through, like very stable patterns that I feel like have not been serving you. The Cosmic Egg, which I love this card. It's the crown chakra. But it just talks about like this culmination, right? Like a completion. It's coming through as like, okay. Yeah, the final card in the journey of this deck. The unfolding of cosmic consciousness. The state emerges after we have tread the path for quite some time, and through self-effort and grace, we experience self-realization. Yeah. The veils of our self-limiting beliefs are lifted. It is a card about interconnectedness as well. The Cosmic Egg, I love that. It's a card about self-realization. And the Crow, which to me represents like resourcefulness. It is also very mystical as well. Using all of your intelligence and creativity in order to perhaps solve a problem. But it's coming through with like... Because I'm getting like something here like where the crow in certain cultures has a negative connotation, right? It's something like that. I feel like maybe there's been some sort of like negative expectation that has been placed on you, where like someone, whoever that is, believed that you couldn't do something, or that you were like not good enough, or that, you know, because you use autotune, you're not a good singer, for example. But it's like that expectation of you is being shifted through this like very mystical energy. So you have spiritually strong, creative, and watchful. It has long been a symbol of magic, drawn to the supernatural, and has a gift for seeing the unseen and knowing the unknown. Okay, and that it's wanting to come through again, Gemini. This is the Libra side of me talking, that you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You absolutely don't. If you choose not to share this gift with others, that's totally up to you. Just as long, because it's kind of like, you know, it doesn't matter if other people know that you're a good singer, metaphorically. It's like, as long as you know that, then you're good. That's how it's coming through. You don't have to prove yourself to others. But it's this sort of like knowing the unknown and seeing the unseen. You have this gift. Very spiritually strong. It's like you don't and you have the bee here coming out next. And the black egg at the bottom of the deck. Your throat chakra is really coming alive in this, Gemini. The bee is a very interesting energy to come out here. Earnest, hardworking, and democratic. Yeah. Sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Since they're artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have a bustling and joyous personality until they're too tired from all the work, then they gripe, and then they sting. Yeah. Okay. I feel like there's something here about your work that's being highlighted, especially with all the earth coming through, where I feel like there's a very strong energy here, Gemini, where it's like you are showing people the truth of your voice. And people is a general term. It could be just with one person, but, you know, just keep that in mind, however this plays out. And it's disproving something that somebody believed of you that was negative. Okay, now I'm gonna end it with the Animal Apothecary deck. Okay, because it's almost like something here where it's like somebody believed that you, Gemini, the crow, brought death or was like a bad omen or like something like that. There was some sort of negative judgment that was placed upon you. And I feel like that is being healed. And also you're reaching some sort of self-realization and removing self-limiting beliefs or limiting beliefs from others as well. And it's like there's this like true hard-working kind of energy that's coming out with this, with the bee. Like showing who you really are. And disproving the expectations. Okay, so you have you are what you think, the flamingo, and just trust. Okay, I'm gonna read the trust part. The mole. Mole not only sees poorly, but also hears and smells poorly too. The one ability he can rely on to guide him where he wants to go is his sensitivity towards vibrations. This is why Mole comes to teach us the medicine of absolute trust even in the darkness. When you receive this card, it is a tremendous confirmation that you will find what you seek. Not only will things work out, but they will also be better than what you can fathom with your current understanding of reality. Right now, it is of the utmost importance to have unwavering faith, even if you do not see proof of any progress. Go forward. Do not aim for perfection because it will only block you from success. Do what you intend to do, even if you may feel scared. Something that deeply resonates with your heart is waiting for you. The image of the sapling in the card represents your stage in the game. You have no idea if it will blossom into the great oak, the poetic rosebush, or perhaps the majestic redwood, but something profound is meant for you, and you must withstand the waiting game. You must see your wish without seeing it. You must see your wish without seeing it, and hear your desire without hearing it. You must be your fullest self without even knowing what that looks and feels like. What you want also wants you, but you must walk towards it with steadfast conviction. This card is a mighty confirmation. Feel a breath of relief and get excited. Mole's medicine is simple yet deep. His medicine is letting you know it is safe to trust. It's going to happen for you. Yeah. Gemini, I feel like you're moving towards something, but you don't know what it is that you're moving towards. It's coming through with this bee, because I see this as like, I see this card, the bee and the dolphin in this deck are like portal energies, right? It's like it's an opening, a portal, a new beginning of some sort that you are moving towards. Perhaps it has to do with work, but just, take it how it resonates. That you're moving towards this new beginning, but you're relying solely on vibration, like on the fact that this energy is calling towards you. It's very mystical. It's very spiritual. And it's like, you can't see it yet. You don't even know what it is, perhaps, but it's like you're moving towards it, purely following the vibration. It's really magical here. It's drawing you towards it. There's so much like attraction energy that's happening. Okay, Gemini, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.